Just time to go.
All right, we're going to knock this out real quick.
Okay.
From the Crystal City Hilton in Arlington, Virginia, this is the Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show. Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show is brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. If you go to www.freepainoffer.com, with your first $10 purchase of Real-Time Pain Relief, you can get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams alongside Warren Marshall. Before we start tonight, I'd like to apologize for not being able to do a live broadcast here tonight. The internet inside the ballroom was not good at all. We just couldn't do it tonight. So we're bringing you our post-fight wrap-up show on what was a very quick night of professional boxing here at the Crystal City Hilton, our King's Promotions card in the night. The main event, of course, Juan, was the very solid performance by Michael the Professor Fox, who scored a third-round knockout. And that's his brother over there, Lantes Fox, just yelled over there. And he's got to be proud of his younger brother, who did put on a solid performance tonight against Sumner Martin of Martinsville, Virginia.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to talking about Mike Fox, we can consistently talk about the same thing because nothing changes.
Yeah.
You know, because there's nothing he needs to change in his game. He's very technical. He stays tall. And he did that tonight, you know. And what I like about him, he's nice and patient. And he uses his technique to actually break his fighters down, which he did tonight against Sumner. You know, Sumner started to feel his power a little bit, and he wasn't able to get in close. And Mike kept him at range, and that was able to, guess what, Mike was able to get the knockout.
It was interesting because Sumner Martin's last bout was on April 1st at the D.C. Armory, and that's when he took on Kareem Martin, no relation. And Kareem went the distance with him, won a unanimous decision, pretty much dominated the fight, but couldn't do the things on April 1st that Mike Fox did tonight.
Yeah, and that's one plus that Mike Fox has against him, his height. You know, in boxing, height is everything. Yeah. And a lot of fighters, they give up their height. And Mike Fox is one that will never give up his height. We've seen it consistently, like I said. He's going to, his 11th win today. Now he got his third knockout. But to me, knockouts won't matter to Mike because if they come to him, they will come because of his technique. But a lot of his bouts, he will win on just those techniques.
No question about it. Mike Fox now 11-0 with 3 KOs. And Sumner Magic Man Martin is 5-3 with 3 KOs to his credit. Now, the bout that everybody really wanted to see tonight, I think, was the matchup of our undefeated beltweight heavyweights, undefeated Maryland heavyweights, really. And that was Mike Ballaghan out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and Luther Lights Out Smith of Bowie, Maryland. Mike Ballaghan, the silverback. And Juan and I talked about this bout throughout the week, and one of the things that we talked about was the difference in competition. Both these guys were young in the field of boxing, a little bit up in age, which is why up in age for a young boxer. Let's put that squared away. But the key was strength of schedule, so to speak, or competition. And I think the advantage went to Mike Ballaghan, and it proved itself tonight as Ballaghan gets the second round knockout.
Yeah, well, Ballaghan, I think they knew, especially working with Zeke, the experienced trainer, he knew exactly what he wanted to do with Mike. He knew exactly what direction they wanted to do with Mike. Now, J.D. Brown's on with Mike, so they know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly what kind of fights. And like you said, the fight he had in Baltimore is a fight that he definitely needed, and it showed that he's a poised fighter, and he needed that going into this fight.
That fight was against Lonnie Cornegay. That was at the Maryland State Fairgrounds in Timonium earlier this year. And it was a fight that, again, nobody knocks out Lonnie Cornegay. Now, I mentioned Marion Jackhammer Wilson. Actually, he was here tonight for a short time. And Jackhammer Wilson fought some tremendous competition through his heavyweight career, was never knocked out. Lonnie Cornegay, very similar in that situation. He only got knocked out in his first fight against one of the biggest knockout punches I ever saw. And that was Darnell Wilson. But you can see that Ballaghan learned a lot from that fight, whereas Luther Smith did not have that type of competition.
And what I noticed that with the difference between Luther and Mike Ballaghan, both of them coming from two totally separate backgrounds.
Right.
Ballaghan has the boxing technique. He picked it up a little faster, put it that way. Yeah. Luther's in a building stage where he wants to be there, taking nothing away from him, but Mike picked it up faster. Mike knows how to set up his punches. Tonight, Luther was doing more of maybe trying to counter what Mike was offering, but Mike know how to trick fighters into trying to do that and be able to land power shots, which he did tonight.
Right. So Mike Ballaghan now 7-0, 6 KOs. Luther Smith falling to 5-1, his first loss, and he has 4 KOs to his credit. the Beltway debut of short dog Jordan White out of Washington, D.C. Very short, actually, at the end of the first round when he defeated Sergio Aguilar. White knocked Aguilar down a couple times in the bout before the bout was over. It was a little bit of a controversy, not a controversy, a little bit of a confusion, I should say, because Billy Johnson in the fourth time that Aguilar went down, Billy Johnson, referee, actually called it a slip. But in reality, by that time, Aguilar did not want to continue anyway, and the bout ended at the end of the first round.
Yeah, Aguilar felt the pressure. He felt the speed that Jordan White had to offer. Mm-hmm. And it was a thing where Aguilar knew he couldn't adjust. So certain fighters, they already know when they get into the ring by the first round, if a guy's faster than him, if a guy has a lot of talent, they feel that in the first round. And Aguilar, that's what he definitely did in the first round. And like you said, the round wasn't over until actually he got dropped the third time, which it looks like Billy was waving the fight off. Yep. It did look like that because most time he said it was a slip. He would shake his head and shake his hand.
Well, he put his hands down to the floor.
That normally would signal a slip.
That's slip. When he put it above his head, that's when the fight has been waved off. Exactly. And that's back what happened eventually. So Jordan White now 3-0. All three of his wins by knockout. Aguilar falls to 0-5. First round knockout also for the Vanilla Gorilla, Sam Crossett out of Greenbelt, Maryland. He knocks out Mike Eastus at 2:03 of the first round, and kind of an ugly knockout, but a good win for Sam Crossett.
Yeah, Cross. And actually, with interviewing him and talking to him, he actually said this was the kind of fight they were training for. Okay. And actually being in the gym with Jared Hurd now, Ernesto, he's working with Rodriguez. He's working with him. We would love that. Now we got Mike Ballaghan right here with the win. But then with Mike Ballaghan, we had to win with that. So hold on, we got some people walking through the interview. So, but with talking to Sam Cross, he said he's been trying. This is what they prepare for. They prepare for a wild fight, and that's what happened tonight. And he made his adjustments that he needed to make, and he got the knockout.
So Sam Cross at 2:03 in the first round, raises back now to 4-0. He has 2 knockouts. Mike Eastus is 0-4. His first loss out of the state of Iowa. Also in the card tonight, Devar Farhadi Jengawar out of Frederick, Maryland by way of Kurdistan. He won by 2:35 of the third round. He just battered Christopher the Punisher Petty. He got punished tonight as Petty lost at 2:35 of the third round. Devar Farhadi with a solid win tonight.
Yeah, solid win for Devar. And what I like about him, he's making adjustments with actually combined with boxing, something that's already hard. Yeah. And he's doing it in the medical field. And like he said, he's trying to get his medical license, which he's almost there. He has to take the test. And we no longer call him a medical student. We can actually call him a resident. Yeah. And that's one good thing about it. He earned a win, a third round knockout. He earned it. And he did very good doing it.
Well, interesting, because Petty was a late sub in the bout. And one of the keys, because we've been talking about Farhadi all throughout his career, his short career, and the fact that he has been known as one of the better young body punchers in the area. But the first knockdown he had, 4 throughout the fight, was a straight right hand, a solid straight right hand to the head.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was surprised. We used to a body puncher, and we saw him with a face to upper shot to the head, like you said, and then knocked the guy down. So that shows that now he has something else to add to his arsenal.
No question about it. So he did a great job. Farhadi now 7-0, 6 KOs, and Christopher the Punisher Petty now 0-3. We're going to stop the recap just for a quick moment because one of our boxers we just talked about is with us right now, and he came home for the first time as a pro.
Yes, sir.
And did an outstanding job. He is a young man out of Washington, D.C., now 3-0, 3 KOs. He is Jordan, short dog, White. Congratulations. Great win tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Your thoughts on being back home finally as a pro?
It's good. The crowd got me pumped up. We could have came out and did it a little smoother, but it happened how it happened. That's just how it's supposed to happen today.
Well, how smooth can you get in the first round knockout? It's not the knockout, but it's the way you did it. What you mean by smooth?
Me and my father, we train every day for perfection. Nothing less than perfection. So to go in there and every time I go in the ring, I'm gonna want to be better than I was at that time. So I just look at what I did wrong or what I could have done better to make a even better performance. That's what I think that makes me a better boxer that I can critique myself. You know what I mean? So I'm my worst critic. My dad's my worst critic. So that's just how we get better. But I'm happy with the performance. First round knockout, and I want to keep that going.
The situation where you had this guy, I think it was a late opponent for you, late sub.
Yeah.
Late sub. So how did you adjust for that situation?
It was really no adjustment. Pop said, like the first guy, go in there and do what you know how to do best. Box. Go in there and dominate, and that's what we did today.
Good enough.
Yeah, and one thing I listen, when I'm watching fights, I always try to listen to the corner. Mm-hmm. And your dad said the hook is what's going to get him, and that's exactly what you landed that hook, and that's what put him down.
Yeah, the hook put him down. The cleanest shot I threw was the overhand. I liked it. That I watched the tape. I watched the tape, and the overhand was pretty. That was a pretty good shot. But I wanted to get him a lot cleaner than that. But he was supposed to come out the second round, and he said, "Forget it. I don't want to do it." He quit.
That's a good way to have it. Congratulations, Jordan Short Dog White. Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all
on the Box on Beltway post-fight wrap-up show. Another solid win, 3-0 now, 3 KOs for Jordan Short Dog White. Also on the card tonight, we had the debut of Philip Handsome Hooker out of Washington, D.C. He's out of the Headbangers Gym, and he beat David Rohn in the first round, 228 of the first round. Good performance in his debut.
Yeah, Hooker actually looked good. There was some things that Barry was saying that he wanted him to do, but he actually didn't do it a little bit. But you can expect that from a pro debut fight. You got a lot of things going on in your head sometimes as a fighter, a new fighter getting inside the ring. But he did well, I think.
Yep. 228 of the first round. Hooker now 1-0, 1 KO. David Rohn 0-7-1. Also on the card tonight, on the other side of the spectrum, Marcus Bates making his return after a couple years' absence. He scored a first round knockout and he used just 43 seconds to knock out Daniel Hernandez of Bear, Delaware.
And that's something Marcus said he was looking to do. Making a solid comeback, and that's what he did because of the injury. He said he wanted to put on for his promoter, Marshall Kaufman, right. And he did that. He came out strong. He didn't waste anything. He put it. First round was like that's the only round he wanted to be in, and that's what happened.
Yep, no question about it. So Marcus Bates, to 4-0-1 with 4 KOs. Daniel Hernandez 0-2-1. Also debuting tonight, Patrick Rivera out of Edgewood, Maryland. He scored a 4th round TKO over Dustin Caplinger. He batted Caplinger all throughout the fight, finally finishing about at 4 seconds of the 4th round. And in our opening bout tonight, Colby Mad Dog Madison out of Baltimore, Owens Mills, Maryland. He scored a first round knockout over a very heavy Bryson Halbrick, who came in at 331 pounds and looked every bit of those 331 and did not last long as 205 for the first round. Madison hit him with a flurry of blows that knocked him out. So that's the card here tonight from the Crystal City Hilton in Arlington, Virginia. Another solid Kings Promotions card. Again, we apologize not being able to bring it to you tonight live because of the Wi-Fi situation. We're at the mercy of that, unfortunately, on these podcasts, and that's what happened there, and we just couldn't get it done tonight. So, a couple things coming up on the Beltway. We have Tuesday night at the Sands Bethlehem and Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Battle of D.C. boxers, former stablemates with the Headbangers, and that's, of course, Kareem Martin taking on David Day Grayton. Kareem was here tonight talking about the fight, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. That fight will be on FS1, and that's going to be a tough fight. I mean, you get guys who know each other, who are friends, and sometimes you don't always have great bouts in situations like that.
And I think we're going to start seeing more of that, down the line, because all of a sudden it started happening.
Yeah.
And then the consistency of this short period, we're seeing it again. Mm-hmm. And locally, we've seen it.
Yeah.
So I think what's going on, fighters are starting to get winged out, and what's going to happen, they're going to find out, if they really have it or not. Mm-hmm. And this is the way it's happening. And, if you can't compete in your own neighborhood, where are you going to compete out your neighborhood? And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and I think the situation where we're knocking out and beating guys, with the exception of Grayton's last fight against Brian Perello, of course, he lost that fight by knockout. So this is, I think, an even more important bout for Grayton than it is for Martin, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that you're looking at a situation where we're knocking and beating guys around the area, and now it's all about us now. Exactly. And I just wish, my only concern with this bout is that I wish it was for bigger stakes than just a 8-round bout. I wish it was for some sort of regional title at least. But Let's witness.
And I think only because of the quantity of fights these guys have, especially with Kareem, I think he has maybe 8 fights,
right?
Something like that. So I think that's the only reason that didn't happen. But like I said, it's a battle of the stronger fighter from their neighborhood,
right?
You know, in the same division. So I think that's what it is. These fighters going to start getting weaned out, and they're starting to see what fighters are going to take fights and what fighters are going to try to run away from fights. And, you know, and it's up to those fighters to do what they need to do.
As you said, these boxers were both in the Headbangers Gym at one time. Greatness now with the group with George Peterson and Thomas Top Dog Williams Jr. in that area now. So be interesting to see what happens. It'll be on FS1. It'll be Tuesday night, August 23rd. They'll be at the Sands Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Of course, one of the big bouts coming up in September 15th, Thursday night at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Dusty Hernandez Harrison goes one-on-one with Thomas Cornflake LaManna, and the USBA welterweight title is on the line.
Yeah, and this is another bout that pretty much is the same boat. It's almost like the situation where it's not maybe a local guy, but it's in a class that you got 2 guys in the same class.
Yeah.
Trying to make a statement in the division and see who's going to prevail and who's going to accelerate to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And both of these guys are in the later stages of going to the next level, which that either one should have been at the next level maybe 10 fights ago.
Right.
You know, and we want to see what happens. This is a make and break fight for both fighters.
It's an interesting situation too, because you have one guy, of course, from DC, and Dusty Harrison, and LaManna is from, they spar together. LaManna is from Millville, New Jersey. As Juan said, they sparred together as late as 2014, and you got it pretty much in a neutral site in Philadelphia, so anything can go. Thursday night, September 15th, it'll be on the CBS Sports Network. Dusty Hernandez Harrison taking on Thomas Cornflake LaManna. One note we want to talk about real quickly, and that's Saturday, August 27th, at the Upshur Recreation Center. That's 14th and Arkansas Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C. You got the annual 6-month moratorium to stop the killings, ceasefire, don't smoke the brothers and sisters annual cookout. It has an amateur boxing component to it. The cookout will start at noon, and the amateur boxing begins at 3 p.m. It'll be at the Upshur Recreation Center. Once again, that's 14th and Arkansas Avenue in Northwest Washington, D.C. Hope you can join. Come on out to support that situation. Al Malik Farrakhan, our good friend, does a great job with that every single year. But that'll do it here from the Crystal City Hilton in Arlington, Virginia for our post-fight wrap-up show. Remember, the Boxing on the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show is brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champion wear. And brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And if you go to www.freepainoffer.com, with your first purchase of $10 of real-time pain relief or more, you get a free $10 tube of real-time pain relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. For Juan Marshall and for my loving son, Christopher Williams, who joined me here tonight, and I thank him for being here tonight, and I love him very much. Thanks, everyone. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Mind you, as always, keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Take care.